What's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning into my channel, Jace's Own World. I'm just going to be talking about the clutch master cylinder in this video today. It's a beautiful day today. Look at the weather out here. Man, just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. But enough of this. This is nice Arizona winter weather right here. It's like 72 degrees, I think, outside right now. But let's go ahead and get into the reason why I'm making this video, and I want to show you guys the clutch master cylinder. And so let's get right to that video right now, okay? All right, so let's go check this out, guys. Here's the car. Getting ready to do a clutch job. I just removed the clutch master cylinder. And some might confuse the clutch master cylinder from the brake master cylinder and the clutch slave / throwout bearing. The clutch master cylinder is not the same as either of those. So basically on the MK7 GTI, and I think many other models with Volkswagen and Audi, the clutch slave / throwout bearing is located inside the bell housing of the transmission. And then there's obviously a master cylinder with the brake fluid reservoir right here. And that brake fluid reservoir has lines basically going to all four corners of your brake system. Obviously, that's how you bleed your brakes. So all four corners. And then it also has a line, which is right here. This is a line that goes to your clutch master cylinder. And the clutch master cylinder is located on your clutch assembly itself. So let's come over here and I'll show that to you right now. So I already took out the clutch pedal. It was actually easier than I expected, especially in the firewall area, which I will show you here in just a second. But you know, you have to have some extensions and you kind of have to finagle it out of the interior area, which I'll show you in just a bit. So this is it right here. This is my clutch right here, you know, going. Anyways, I'm not gonna do it, but that's the clutch assembly. So I have that right there. Let me first show you where it's located in the firewall, the two little things that you need to remove to be able to get that out of the car. So let's go check that. All right, so coming over here. Like I said, brake fluid reservoir. Now this job is a lot easier. I'm sure you can do it without removing a bunch of stuff, but it's a lot easier to do inside the engine bay here by removing the intake itself, the intake hose that goes to your turbo inlet right there, as well as your battery and your battery tray. So remove those from the area so you have all of this space. So like I said, this hose right here goes to your clutch master cylinder, and it basically goes right on top, or not right on top, but it plugs right into it. Now your clutch master cylinder, because it's in the clutch pedal assembly itself, which you saw over here, what that does is when you bolt up your clutch pedal, the clutch master cylinder sits inside the clutch pedal assembly, and then it will poke through the firewall, and then it has two little ports, which I'll show you in just a minute. One line that goes to that line that I just showed you in the engine bay that goes to your brake fluid reservoir, and then another line with a little clip that goes to your bleeder block for your clutch. That line is really, they're both really easy. I thought it would be a little harder than it would have been, but once you know where it's at, it's pretty easy to take off. And the nice thing about it is, well, I broke the clip that was on there already, but the nice thing is a new clutch master cylinder, and I'll show you what it looks like too. The new clutch master cylinder comes with a new clip, so you'll see that in a second. So let's go ahead and go back in here, and I'll show you exactly where it's located to undo the little hoses, the two little hoses. All right, so it's kind of hard to see, but if you go through here, This part right here has a line, this line, let me zoom in there. This part right here, this little circular looking weird thing has a line, and that line goes all the way to your bleeder block, okay? So that's your bleeder block line. Goes all the way, and that's where this attaches to. And this basically has a little spigot, and I don't want to bring it all the way out, but it has a little spigot. See that spigot right there? Zoom in a little bit more. That little spigot. That spigot attaches to the clip end of the clutch master cylinder, which I will show you here in a bit. And then this line that goes to your brake fluid reservoir. So this one right here, boom. It just, you literally just pull that out. You just pull it out, and when you install it, you just push it on. So there's no like little clip or anything like that holding it on there. You just push it on when you're ready to install it. The location in the firewall is literally the brake booster right here. It's right as you're looking at the car, and the firewall, it's directly to the right, just down in this little corner, and you'll be able to see it. Now, let's see if I can get a little zoom. As you can see right there, see that hole in the firewall right there? That's where it's all located. So it's just, you know, it's not a super difficult area to get to, but you have to take a little pick and whatever to get that little clip undone. And once that clip's undone, then, you know, this whole piece just pops right off. Usually it's pressurized. Like if you don't have any clutch issues, like if your pedal was still good, but you just had some leaking at the clutch master cylinder inside the cabin where your clutch is, if you just had that leaking, you would have a lot of pressure built up. And when you remove that little line right there, it would have some pressure and it would pop off. But since my clutch slave / blowout bearing failed inside the bell housing of the transmission and all the fluid was all over the floor, I had no pressure in it. So when I removed it, there was no pressure, there was none of that. So I just pulled it out. So let's go inside the driver's side cabin where the clutch pedal usually is, and I'll show you exactly where it's located and how to remove the clutch pedal. All right, so let's get in here. Like I said, and like you saw, it's already been removed. So the most difficult part about this job has already been done. But as you can see up in here, this area right here, that's where the clutch master cylinder sits through the firewall. And then there's a bolt. They have 3 dowels right here that the whole clutch assembly sits inside, so you can't get it wrong. But it's just difficult to get to the bolts a little bit. But as you can see, there's one here, one up there, and one up there. This one is really accessible from the bottom of your footwell, but those 2 up on the top are not that accessible. And so what you have to do is, I removed all of this right here. So I removed this dash panel right there. And then I removed this little duct, literally 1 screw, and then it pulls out, which sits right here. And you remove that to give yourself some access. And then you have to get a bunch of extensions and basically go through this area right here, which is, this is your steering wheel up and down, your telescoping, you know. And you have to get a bunch of extensions that go through here to get to those 2 top nuts up there to remove those. It takes a little bit to figure out where they are, but once you figure out where they are, they're pretty accessible. And what I used is all of this right here. So I used a 1/4 inch socket, and then I used an extension here, a long extension, and then another extension right here. So I added that on top of this one. So it had plenty of space. And then the socket for all 3 of those nuts is a 13 millimeter. And then, you know, you just have to remove all the screws and stuff to that trim piece. I have all this crap because I have a whole bunch of, you know, stuff wired in, like my boost gauges, AFR gauges, my sound system, my radar detector. Like, I have all sorts of stuff. So I had to, you know, get this out of the way. But if you don't have any of this stuff, it makes it that much easier. Now, the only hard part about this, not really hard, but more frustrating part, because it takes some time, is getting the clutch pedal out, because you have this bar right here that gets in the way. And to remove that, I was about to remove it. There's a nut up in there that you remove it and that would all come apart. But when I went in there, I got on my back, and it was my back was super arched in here, but I was able to finagle the clutch pedal assembly out. This thing really does get in the way, so you kind of have to like pull and twist and do all sorts of stuff to get it on there. Now, you're not going to really break these because the clutch pedal assembly is plastic, so you're not going to really break those. So you don't need to be worried about it. You just need to get some clearance away from this bar right here. Once you do that, then you can finagle it out of there, and then you can pull it out. So let's go look at the clutch pedal assembly, and I'll show you the clutch master cylinder. I'll even pull the old one, I mean the new one, out, and show you what it looks like. So obviously I got my stuff from FCP Euro. Here's my clutch master. Let's bring it over here. New clutch master. And the crazy thing is this one was a new clutch master cylinder that was installed 11 months ago at the shop that installed my last clutch. And it's broken. Look at all that. You can see all that juice, all that brake fluid leaking in there. You can see it. And it broke when my slave cylinder throw-up bearing went out. That went out along with it. But, you know, when they installed it, every single morning, I had to pump my clutch pedal a little bit, almost like there was some air in it. And because if I didn't pump my clutch pedal in the morning before I went to work or wherever I went every single morning, if I just immediately pushed my clutch in, it would only come up 3/4 of the way and then it would stick. But, you know, once I pumped it, then it gave it some pressure inside, and then it worked just fine all day long. But it was never like that before. So there was something wrong with the install that they did, whether they installed it incorrectly or they didn't bleed it enough. Something was up with it the whole time. But good thing I also bought this one, you know, 11 months ago from FCP Euro, so I'm going to return that one. And I also bought this one from FCP Euro. But this is what the clutch master cylinder looks like. It has a little thing right here, and that little notch or that little circle right there, that connects to, see that inside there? Let me show you. See how it's broken right here? Look at that. Crap, right? Just crap. I can't believe that. But see the circle in there? We get a better, I can get in there. Anyways, that's the circle right there. And that is attached through this pin right here. And so you just take that pin out, and then that will be able to come out there. But yeah, this is what sits inside it. So as you can see right here, these are the two little tabs I was telling you about. So this one has a clip right here normally. Here on the new one, you can see the clip, okay? And then this is the one where you just pull that hose off that goes to the brake fluid reservoir. This one goes to the line that connects to your clutch bleeder block, okay? So, and that's where it sits inside. So basically, this whole piece sits inside your clutch pedal assembly, and it's called the clutch master cylinder. That's what it's called. And then I just have to remove this little plastic piece right here. I think I might have to remove this one right here, and then this one right here, and then this whole piece will slide out, and I just put the new one in, and I put those back in there, and then this is ready to be installed back into the car. So I'm not going to show the installation because it's hard to get those camera angles and the lighting and all sorts of stuff. Hopefully, there's only one other video that I found online for a Mark 7 Golf R, which is exactly the same, but the Mark 6 and every previous generation of GTI, of Golf R, of anything, you know, VW, it's a very similar process, but there are some minute differences, like the way that the actual clutch master cylinder, this part right here doesn't have a circle. It basically has something that looks like this, but on the end, and it goes into these two little tabs. And so instead of a little dowel that you connect it with right there, it has these two little tabs that are tabbed in on each side, one here and one on that side. And then it basically pushes itself into that. And so once that's like that, and then you rotate this, I think it's clockwise to take it out and counterclockwise to put it back in to lock it in place. So that's a little bit different with all the other generations. So I was having a hard time like figuring out like why my clutch master cylinder looked different from all the other ones, and that's because it's designed different. That's the only difference. But other than that, the engine bay is basically all the same. Also the clutch pedal assembly on the Mark 6 and every previous generation of GTI, Golf R, anything like that. Instead of having one nut on the bottom like the Mark 7 does, it has two on the bottom and then one on the top. So the Mark 7 has one on the bottom and two on the top, two nuts that you have to take off. The Mark 6s and everything else has two on the bottom and one to take off. So a little bit easier in that regard to remove, because two of the bolts are a lot more accessible than the Mark 7 one. But like I said, there was only one video that I could find on YouTube, and it really helped me out because, you know, this is something that I've never done before and I was unfamiliar with. So it was really nice that someone else made a video. And so I'm hoping I can be the second person to post a video for the Mark 7 GTI, Mark 7.5. I'm sure the Mark 8s do the same exact thing for the GTI, the Golf Rs, the Audi S3s, anything that uses this engine, I'm assuming, and this clutch assembly in the newer stuff. This is going to be very beneficial for all of you guys because there's no one out there. So hopefully if you guys ever have to do this job, hopefully you don't, because this is something that is not common to fail on the Mark 7 or any GTIs. It's not common for any of them to leak. But like I said, when my clutch popped, I saw a leak up in there. So I was like, crap. And then I saw that piece was broken when I looked up in there and saw that. So I was like, crap. So I had to buy a new one. Good thing they're not crazy expensive, but you know, if you're paying someone to do this job, they're gonna probably charge you 3 hours to do the job, which is nuts. Because my first time doing this job and watching that video, I was able to take everything apart in 1 hour, and then putting it back in, you know, probably take me another hour. But the second time doing it, it'd probably take me half of the time, you know, because I know exactly what tools to use, the extensions, where to look for the nuts, where to grab it, what things to remove, stuff like that. All the figuring out you do your first time. The second time, it's a lot easier. So anyways, yeah, they'll probably charge you 3 hours. So if you ever have to do this, this is how you do it on the Mark 7 GTI, Golf R, Mark 7.5 GTI Golf R, Mark 8 GTI Golf R, Audi S3s from 2015 up, I believe, that use the EA888 engine generation 3, TSI, and I think that's about it. So yeah, so I hope you were able to get some info on all this, and I hope you liked it. I'm going to be installing my clutch this next coming week, hopefully early in the week. So that would be great. I have all the parts already, and so everything is good to go. All right, until the next one, thank you for all of you who have been coming to my channel and who have stuck it this far on my channel and also in this video. And until the next one, I will talk to you later. Peace.